What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about skills, ticker symbol SKLZ, and we're just going to focus on doing a short term technical analysis to figure out where the stock is headed in the next couple of trading days and over the course of the next week. Last week we saw a crazy run up in this stock, and we want to see whether that's going to continue, potentially force a short squeeze, or whether we should expect some retracement. So without further ado, let's hop into the analysis. All right, so here we have the chart for skills, and what we can see right away is that crazy run up last week. Looking right here in Tuesday and early Wednesday, we were all the way down in that 1250 range before we started that crazy run up that led us all the way into the $19 range before seeing some retracement, and now we're kind of just oscillating in this breakout wedge, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But first off, just some general technical indicators. First and foremost, this yellow line here, that's the volume weighted average price. We did close above that on Friday. That is a bullish sign heading into tomorrow's trading session. You always want to be above that if you are long in the stock. Some other technical indicators to take a look at. You see this purple line here. That's the 21-day EMA. It's sitting at $18. So we closed just above that. And that's also a pretty positive, bullish sign heading into tomorrow's trading session. That's kind of the intermediate level moving average that most traders want to take a look at. If you're going to look at the longer term moving averages, we're going to see that, the current price is well below it, which is bearish, to be fair. But, keep in mind, we've seen a huge dump since skills was at its highs in the beginning of February. However, if we also look at the short term moving averages, the ones that are below the 21 days, we're going to see that we are very bullish. So, short term, this stock has looked incredibly bullish. I'm not looking at a long term outlook here. I'm looking at the short term, trying to see where this stock is going to go next week. So, in order to do so, we also have to understand the support and resistance levels. So, starting off, taking a look at some support levels. First off, we're going to see a support level right here, right below where we closed on Friday at the 1807 range. This has been kind of a good testing point for the stock in the past. We see it come down here after Thursday's initial gap up and retest it, but it wasn't able to break it. But then we are able to successfully break it here, and then we're retesting, and we were able to hold it into the close. So that's the first main area of support. Then we also have a big area right here at 1714, kind of the same story, with this gap up. We initially broke through, but then we used it as support. We broke through that, and then we used it as resistance, and we were able to break above that. So that's pretty positive. And then the final main support, you want to keep in mind is right here at 1630. That would be probably, the lowest support that you would kind of play if you are long on the stock, because if it does break below this 1630 range, the 16s, we could see this fall back to the $13 range very quickly. So you want to be very cautious if the stock comes down to this range. That being said, now let's take a look at the resistance. We need to see where the stock needs to break through, ideally, if we want to see this run continue. First and foremost, right here in the 1857 range, that's been tough for us to do. We were trying to do that on Friday going into the close, but we were rejected a couple of times here. And then after that, we're going to want to see 1948 being broken through. That's been a key resistance level historically for the stock. So if we can see both of those being broken, looking at the chart actually longer term, we have a pretty clean rise to the $22 area, actually, kind of where that 50-day SMA is. If we are able to get a clean break above 1950 into the 20s. So that could produce, some significant profits right there. It all looks good. And finally, the last thing we want to take a look at is we have a very clean kind of bullish pennant set up right here for this stock. We've been kind of going back and forth between the top and the bottom. And so, what this kind of tells us, what we should be maybe even expecting or predicting going into tomorrow's trading session, is probably one more retest at the bottom here. I think, right here in that 17-14 support area would be probably the place we would retest. And if we are able to hold that, then we can expect to bounce back up and probably actually break through this pennant and start heading up and testing these key resistance points. And if we're able to break that, like I said, $22 should come pretty quickly after that. And we could continue to see runs even further after that. Keep in mind, we do have 23.46% of the float shorted right now. So if we continue to see a massive run up, we could also see a short squeeze start to develop. So this could be huge. Just be very careful with this stock. Know your different levels, know your supports, know your resistance. Hopefully, this helped a little bit with that charting. And let me know whether you are long on the stock, whether you're short on the stock. If you have any questions for me, let me know. If you liked this video, if you want to see more content like this, then like the video and subscribe. And other than that, have a great rest of your day.